everyone. Thank you for being with us. I'm Charles Clements, and this is We Are One. As per usual, if you like our content, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Comment you subscribed, and we'll get in there and give you a big high five. On today's episode, we'll be covering the Texas chill, immigration, and this week's Idgit of the Week. And now for our top story, the Texas tragedy. Most of the nearly 30 million residents of Texas are without power, food, and most noticeably, water. With a return to partisan normalcy, the state Republicans, including Governor Greg Abbott, have decided rather than take care of their people that politicization is the best recourse to get their jobs done. In the last week, state Repubs have been blaming the Green New Deal, AOC, and everyone who wasn't in charge of the Lone Star State's power grid, and everything that has since gone awry, with the noticeable exception of those who are actually in charge. Texas Republicans. The Green New Deal, which does not yet truly exist on paper, much less being voted into law, can't possibly be blamed. AOC has spent more time and raised more money than Ted Cruz spent on that trip to Cancun. Our renewable energy was the first to go down. All 10% of it that you allowed in this state. Wind and solar seem to be working fine in Montana, Alaska, Antarctica, probably because those folks recognize the severe inclement weather possibilities due to climate change, which is a thing, and opted to not, unlike Texas, cut corners and create cheap energy to sell. Their wind turbines have the recommended antifreeze and cold weather-related components built in because they were recommended and they got them done. But in the wisdom of ERCOT and the Texas bigwigs, they didn't need all that nonsense and horse wallop. Y'all just pull up them bootstraps, get out there and handle your business. Please. All of you in charge down there didn't learn a damn thing from that nasty storm you had just about 10 years ago. Then again, taking care of your people always takes a back seat when the choice is either helping your constituents or keeping the government out of your business. Well, turns out in one respect, Texas wanting out of the Union happened in one profoundly noticeable way. Your extremely outdated, and I might say segregated, power grid accomplished that much. You have effectively cut off your own citizenry from real help. You have proven that you despise socialism, and thus, you own the libs. Good job. Awful socialism. The same concept uses accumulated public dollars to pay for the military, public schools, waste management, police, fire, and EMS services. Also, water, sewer, just seriously. Unless we're affected, we hate socialism. But then, in other news, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has requested that President Biden declares the Texas situation a national emergency, thus requesting national aid from the federal government, including the activation of FEMA, the American Red Cross as mandated by Congress, and a slew of other federal and state organizations meant to assist in the safety and stabilization of our populace as well as our nation, all the while remaining capitalists. But socialism... Imagine that. Foresight used to benefit those who are tasked with representing, protecting, and lifting up for the sake of our nation. Next up, a nice hot topic to calm things down, immigration reform. A special shout out to Shrek is Best for your comment on this subject. Here we are one. We hope to fill those whataboutisms out for you. No, Trump didn't build those cages. You are quite correct. Many of them had been around from all the previous administrations. Not just Obama's, though many of the new facility expansions were ordered under the Obama administration. Not the Biden administration, as he has not been president before. This was meant to deal with a truly massive influx of unaccompanied minors being smuggled in, literally, from Central American countries and other points south to flee extreme persecution. The facilities with barriers and cordoned areas purposed for separating young men, women, and children had a purpose for obvious and safety reasons. And lowbrow name-calling doesn't make a point, particularly since Beijing Biden wasn't coined until recently and based on the perceived softness on a plethora of issues involving Biden's incoming administration and his stances on China. In fact, it was Trump who decided to make those area partitions and linked fencings into cages, and then callously creating the zero tolerance policy with 100% separation of children from family as a deterrent. So yes, the areas were there, the workspaces and linked fences and whatnot were there, but it wasn't created by Biden. It was done in Obama. Bush did the same thing. During the Obama era, it became a prevalent issue because of other countries having issues that were so severe, people had to flee. Refugees be damned. Even though that is inscribed in this Statue of Liberty. We are a melting pot. It's where our diversity and our national brilliance comes from. We don't get that. We don't get that enlightenment or that level of perseverance by basing our entire population theory on the trailer park fried mayonnaise balls eating NASCAR loving wrestling fans of the world. We get it from everybody, from other cultures. From many, one. Of many, one. In Latin, it's our national motto. Look that flag up. On that high note, it's time for me to bring you our new segment, the Idgit of the Week.
That is why you fail.
We've had a lot of contenders this week. Ted Cruz for being ignorant enough to bring 2 rolling suitcases on an overnight trip to Cancun. While his state still needed help from anybody but him. Joe Biden for breaking his no deportation campaign promise by backing down from ICE, a pointless, racist-powered, and completely unnecessary relic from the Patriot Act, ripe for dissolution. But in spite of that, even Ted Cruz, our week's honor of Idgit of the Week goes to former Colorado City Mayor Tim Boyd. In a tone-deaf post, Boyd said this: "Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute." And this is all a quote. I'm not saying this. "No one owes you or your family anything. Nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim. It's your choice. The city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owes you nothing. I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. If you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you deal without. and think outside the box to survive and supply your water to your family. If you're sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and you're sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue your lazy is direct result of your raising. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. He misspelled perish, not perish like die, perish like the district or a church. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few will work and others will become dependent for handouts. Am I sorry you've been dealing without electricity and water? Yes, but I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone else that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them into one group. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. Bottom line, don't be a part of the problem, be part of the solution. For this, the former mayor of Colorado City is our Idgit of the week. Don't be a part of the problem, a part of the solution. Your people, the Republicans who have been in charge of this state in all of its aspects, in state representation, in the Senate, in the House, in the governorship, have been sitting there for 10 years, sitting on information where you were told that you should prepare for the lowest possible conceivable temperatures in your state. Your segregated power system is sitting there killing people because you didn't want the government regulations. Got it. That's fantastic. Who doesn't want state independence? That's what we're supposed to be. If you want to live a certain way, you go to whatever state you want to be in. Every state should have the right to govern itself. But if you have been purposefully pushing towards your own individual segregation, like you want to be your own country, and break off even your own power grid on your infrastructure. Everybody else here, including us in Canada, share stuff. You share. You don't get to play with the same toy all the time. You need to share. That's how things work. Don't tell me you've never borrowed a cup of damn sugar. Texas, love you, but you're a little full of yourself. Take a minute. Realize you got neighbors. Think of Texas as your house, as your block. Reach out to other people a little damn bit. No man, no woman, no state is an island. I mean, except for the Virgin Islands and Hawaii and probably the better parts of Florida. For this, former mayor of Colorado City is our Idgit of the week.
That is why you fail.
Once again, if you like our show, you dig our thing, and you don't want to miss a thing, hit that subscribe button. Throw a comment in below that you subscribed, and we'll come back and we will high-five you all nice and personal-like. Thanks for being here. You got a big grazie from us. I'm Charles Clements, and this has been We Are One.